Okay, is my slide visible to all of you? સ્લાઇડ દેખાય છે બધાને બરાબર?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us do some quick revision of what we have seen, the instructions related to bit manipulation, and these are the instructions which is very much useful to set and clear IO pins. We started with microcontroller, and Niranjan sir is discussing architecture in depth. And now all of you know that purpose of microcontroller is to accept the inputs from real world, process the inputs according to our program, whatever the program we write for it, and then it provides the result. And as a part of result, it provides output. And when we say output, that means ultimately, basically, we are controlling something using output pins. Maybe it could be a solenoid, it could be actuator, it could be motors, it could be some display devices. But ultimately, we read the inputs, we process the inputs, and after processing the inputs, according to our program, we provide the output. So this IO bit manipulation instructions which we have studied, that is SBI and all these CBI, all these instructions we have, whatever we have studied, these instructions are very very useful to send the signals on the IO port. So for example, if I am saying that this SBI DDRB, 2, it essentially it means that pin number 2 of port B I want to utilize as a output pin, because I am setting this particular flag in the data direction register, right? Similarly, if I write in this way, let's say for example, if I write that SBI port C, 1, this means that I want to set first pin of port C. But essentially, before I issue this instruction to send logic 1 to the port C first pin, I have to set the direction of port to the output, otherwise this instruction will not work. So what I have to write here, initially I have to write SBI DDRC, 1. When I do this, my port C first pin will be defined, initialized as an IO output pin, and then after only I will be able to utilize this next instruction. Similarly, if I want to let's say want to clear the port pins, I have to use the instruction CBI. Here C is for clear, so this C is for clear. So CBI will clear the port, and whenever I am writing port, it will clear, and whenever I am writing the data direction register, the meaning of these is that I want to utilize this as an input port. So if I want to connect some switches or input sensors, then I have to use this instruction. I will show you, I will switch on my camera and I will show you some of the devices available with me at present. I have few devices with me. For example, if it is visible to all of you, this is a PIR sensor. So if I want to connect this sensor with my microcontroller board, I have to declare the input pin, because this is an input sensor. Similarly, I have an ultrasonic sensor like this. This is ultrasonic, it is useful to measure the distance. So for this also I will be using my pin as an input pin. Right. I have this DHT sensor. This is useful to measure the digital humidity and temperature. This is also input device. So if I have this type of devices, let's say this is one more board, this is a proximity sensor. So it will sense the whenever some object is near to this IR sensor, it will sense and produce the output signal. So this is also providing a signal to the microcontroller, and to read the signal from this sensor you have to initialize your port pin as an input port pin. But suppose if I am connecting a motor or a relay or LEDs, then I have to define that particular pin as an input pin. We will switch back to this board. First let me discuss this part. So that means the pin at which we want to connect the input devices, on those pins what we will do, we will clear the corresponding port pin. Any question? In between there was some sound. Okay. This is one more instruction, SBIC. What is purpose of SBIC? It will check the input pin, and what it will do, skip next instruction at that particular pin is at 0 logic. That means if that particular bit is 0, then it will skip the next instruction, otherwise the next instruction will be executed. Similarly, this one more instruction is similar to that, but only in this case the next instruction will be skipped only if the bit is set. That means if that pin is at logic high, the next instruction will skipped, otherwise it will execute the next instructions. So these are the IO bit manipulation instructions. If you have any doubt in this instruction, please ask me. I have seen that many of you are not appearing for learning quiz. I request again to all of you, those who have not appeared in a single quiz, please appear for the learning quiz, because it is a part of a continuous assessment. Your continuous assessment marks will have an effect, because whenever you appear for the quiz, you will get 1 marks. If you do not appear, you will get 0 marks. So it is a binary logic. So in a learning quiz, marks are not important. Let's say from out of 5, whether you have secured 4 marks or 3 marks or 2 marks, whatever you secured, it is not important. Only you have to appear for the test. Once you appear for the learning quiz, you will get 1 mark. That is for sure, right? So I request all of you to always appear for the learning quizzes. And we are whenever we are launching the learning quiz, we give you a deadline that before this date and time you have to submit the learning quiz. After that you will not be able to submit, right? So on a given deadline, please submit your learning quiz. Soon in this week we will launch learning quiz 4. So please appear for the learning quiz regularly. This is actually one exercise for you. You have to interpret this program and tell me what this program is doing. If some of you can interpret this program and tell me the output. I am sure that all of you know this instruction CVI DDRB, 3. What it will do? It will make PB3 pin input pin. So PB3 will become an input pin with help of this instruction. That means you will be able to connect some switch with this pin, PB3 pin. SBI DDRC, 5, that means we are declaring PC5 output pin. That means you will be able to connect some output device, maybe LED, maybe solenoid, maybe buzzer with the PC5 pin. What this instruction is saying, skip next instruction if bit is clear. Now what pin it is checking? It is checking PB3 pin. So what it will do? It will check PB3 pin, and if PB3 pin is cleared, it will skip this instruction. So this instruction will not be executed. But if this PB3 pin is not cleared, it will again check that pin. Right. So for example, let's say that we have a circuit like this. We have a resistor in this way. We have a push button switch in this way. On this side, let's say +5 is connected, and let's say this point is connected to our PB3 pin. Whenever I am pressing this push button switch, ground will be extended. This will become logic 0. Your PB3 will become logic 0 when switch is pressed. And whenever the switch is open, the +5 will be available to PB3. At that time, logic 1 will be available on PB3. That means when switch is not pressed. So when switch is not pressed, at that time logic 1 will be available. If switch is pressed, logic 0 will be available. That means if I am getting here, if the switch is not pressed here, then what will happen? This loop will continue. So continuously this loop will execute, because R jump here means jump here on this label here. So continuously this infinite loop will be executed if the switch is not pressed. Once the switch is pressed, that means this bit is clear. Then what will happen? SBIC, so it will check the PB3, and it is saying that skip next instruction if bit is clear. So now whenever switch is pressed, bit is clear. So now it will execute the next instruction. Right, it will skip this instruction, it will execute the next instruction. In next instruction is that SBI port C, 4. That means this instruction, what it will do? It will set PC5 pin, and after some time it will clear PC5 pin, and then after it will again check this PB3. If the switch is still pressed, then again we will get this combination high low high low. So continuously, if you are pressing the switch continuously, you will get a waveform like this, high and then low, high and low. So you will be getting a pulses from the PC5 pin continuously, right? And if you release the switch, what you will get? The pulses will not be available on this pin. Again, if you press the switch, the pulses will be available from the PC5, right? So this is actually an event. During this period the switch is pressed, and during this period switch is not pressed. So this is the duration during which the switch is pressed, and your program is sensing the switch and it is producing the square wave at the output. During this switch is not pressed. So if you want to generate the waveform continuously, then you have to press the switch, and if you do not want to generate any waveform, then you have not to press the switch. Is it clear? Any doubt here? Now I will tell you the practical application where this is actually useful. For that, again I will switch on my camera. So for example, एक lecture चला है पीछे. I have a PIR sensor like this, and this sensor is having pins in this way. You can see here there are 3 pins are available. and the pin is VCC is written at one place. I don't know whether it's visible to you or not. I will try to focus it so that it's visible to you. So here the first pin is VCC. We will try to point it out here. The first pin is VCC, then second pin is output, and third pin is ground. So essentially it has only 3 pins. One pin you have to connect to VCC, that is plus 5 volt. One pin you have to connect with the ground, and third pin is output. So that output you can connect with our microcontroller pin. So as per our program, you can connect it with this PB3 pin, and whenever you connect with a PB3 pin, it will sense the PIR sensor. And whenever it will sense the PIR sensor, whenever somebody is near to PIR sensor, it will start generating the square wave. So that this square wave, if you are applying to the some very big siren, then as and when somebody is near to your that sensor, the siren will start. So in agriculture farm you can put it, if somebody is there, automatically it will sound the siren. So basically, if you have seen in an agriculture farm a chadia, so the purpose of chadia is to prevent the birds. So if any bird is near to that, the siren will beep, and then it maybe that bird will fly away. So that kind of application. Similarly, burglar alarm. If you want to design that type of application, this program is very much useful. Now let us learn. I will try to show you one program with our Arduino board and AVR Studio. This AVR Studio screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir, visible.
It's visible, fine.
Yes.
Okay. This SBI DDR B,5, that means I am declaring this pin number PB5 as an output pin. SBI DDR D,2, I am declaring PD2 as an output pin. So these 2 pins are declared as an output pin. These are the some 4 instructions to define the step pointer. At present, forget about the step pointer because I will conduct the separate session on the step pointer. Let's look at this instruction SBI port D, 2. What this will do? It will set the pin number PD2. SBI port B, 5. It will set the PB5 pin. Then I am calling the delay. After delay, CBI port D, 2. So that means I am clearing the PD2 pin. I am clearing the PB5 pin, and I am calling the delay again, and R jump again. So this loop will continuously work. So now let me run this program, and I will show this program on the Arduino board also simultaneously. Board is visible, I think. Is it visible to all of you? Let me do it side by side. Okay. Okay. So what I will do here, I will build this program. So build the solution. So it will build the program. It gives the message build one succeeded, and then after in this tool actually we will try to upload this program to the Arduino board. So I have Arduino here, so I will upload this program into the Arduino board. And whenever uploading is happening, as you can see, there some LEDs were blinking, and now the uploading is over. So now this internal LED is blinking. This is connected with PB5 pin. At the same time, I have another I/O board in which I am using one more LED. Let me show it here also. Here you can see that one more LED is blinking. Here, this LED is blinking. So this is connected with a PD2 port. So I have used 3 wires here to connect this I/O board. So this I/O board is having a total 8 LEDs, 1 buzzer, 4 push button switches, 2 port, that is potentiometer, to simulate the analog input. It has the LM35 temperature sensor as well as IR sensor. So these are the things available in this I/O board. So we can use this I/O board to do the experiments. So at present I am using only one LED from this I/O board, because in Arduino I have only one LED. If I want to use more LEDs, then I have to connect the I/O board. Now as you can see that whenever the internal LED is glowing, at that time this the board LED will become off, as you can see clearly, right? And whenever board LED is glowing, at that time the internal LED of the Arduino is becoming off. So let me put it in a maximized way so that it's visible to you. Okay, now you can see clearly. Is it clear? Both are alternately glowing. Both are alternately glowing. Even though in a instruction we have done both simultaneously. You can see we are simultaneously making on both, and then we are simultaneously making off both. But even though it is one is becoming on and one is becoming off, why it is happening? Can anybody answer me? Why is it so? Because in an internal LED from PB5, it is connected in this way. PB5 pin is connected to LED. LED is connected in this way, right? And with the external LED, what I have done, PD2 is connected to LED through some series resistor, and LED is connected in this way, plus 5 volt. So this is LED connection in case of a PD2, and this is our internal LED connection in a Arduino board. So as you can see now the difference here, right? What is the difference? In this case, LED will glow if logic 1 is applied here, and in this case LED will glow if logic 0 is applied here, right? So we are initially saying that SBI port C, sorry, not port C, let me remove it. We have taken port B, right? So let me select your pen. Port B and comma 5. Then we say that SBI, let me increase the size. SBI port D comma 2. Both are basically sending the logic 1. Logic 1, this is also logic 1. That means whenever we are sending logic 1 to PB5, it will glow. But whenever we are sending logic 1 to PD2, it will not glow. Because this is also play at plus 5, this is also at plus 5. So no current will flow through the LED, and LED will remain off, right? But whenever we send the instruction in this way, let's say I am saying that CBI port B comma 5, CBI port D comma 2, At this time on both the pin I am sending logic 0. So whenever I am sending logic 0, this LED will off, because on both the side there is a 0. Here also there is a ground, here also there is a 0, so both the side it is a ground, no current will flow, so this will remain off. So this, with help of this instruction, our internal LED will be off, but with help of this instruction, internal LED, external LED will be on, because I am sending 0 here, plus 5 already I have connected with the anode, so LED will turn on. So that's why this is happening actually. Alternately it is glowing. Now let's see if I want to change the timing here. What I can do here, I can change the delay. So this is actually a delay routine. If say instead of 55, if I am doing it let's say 05. Okay, and let me build the program again. Build the solution. And what I will do, I will upload this program. So while uploading this, I would like to show this on this board itself. So now I want to upload this program. So what I will do, I will select the Arduino tool and I will click on that. And now you can see that it will change. The timing will change. Now you can see it is fast blinking because I have reduced the delay. Further, if I increase delay much more, let's say instead of 05, if I do it let's say 99, then delay will be much more. Again I will build the solution and then I will upload the solution to the Arduino board. Now it's programming the board. Now the delay is more. Okay. Now what should I do if I want to switch on both the LEDs simultaneously, internal Arduino LED as well as external LED? Then simple modification that I have to do here is this. I have to switch on the internal LED, so SBI is okay. If I want to switch on PD2 also at the same time, I have to change the instruction to the CBI port D, 2, and here instead of CBI I will write SBI. So this instruction, two instruction will turn on the LEDs. These two instruction will also turn off the LEDs. And let me build this program again. And let me program this to the Arduino board. Now you can see both are blinking together. Both are on together, both are off together. Is it okay? Is there any question, any doubt in this programming? These all experiments you have to do at home either, or after completion of first year exam you can come to our institute, you can sit in the laboratory and you can do the experiments. We will continue online classes, theory classes will be continuously executed online, but if you want to perform the lab experiments, you can come in the lab and you can perform the experiments there. And those who want to do this experiment at home, you have to purchase Arduino board and some I/O devices. And if you do not want to purchase discrete I/O devices, you can also purchase this type of a digital I/O board. The name of this board is a digital I/O board. It's a very good board. With this board you can perform 10 to 12 experiments easily, because there are LEDs, there are sensors, there are push button switches. So these push button switches you can use to implement the digital sensors, and LEDs you can use to implement the output devices. Right. So you can perform experiment with a cost less than 500 rupees. You can do the experiment at home, because the Arduino board is costing around 300. This board is costing around 150, and some wires and jumpers etc. Its cost is around 500 rupees only. You will be able to perform the experiment at home. Okay. Even though, because now we have started the offline education, so you are welcome at our laboratory also. to perform the experiments. Okay, if you do not have any further doubt in this, let's go ahead. Okay, so this is actually the example which I shown to you was for only one LED. Similarly, we can do it for multiple LEDs, like 8 LEDs simultaneously we can do. So again the program remains same. Just I will explain this program to you. This instruction, two instructions, LDI R16, 0xFF. So FF we are transferring to R16. That R16 we are transferring to DDR-B. That means entire 8 pin of port B we are defining as an output pins. You remember that we were using the instruction SBI, right? Because we wanted to declare only one pin as an output pin. Then SBI is okay. But if you want to declare all 8 pin as an output pin, and if you want to use the SBI, then you have to write SBI 8 times. That is not good. So for that, actually, if you want to declare all 8 pins as an output pin, this instruction performing much better, right? These 4 are related to the stack pointer. I will not explain this here because we will have a separate session on the stack pointers. Basically, actually, whenever you are going to call some subroutines, basically stack pointer definition is required, because you have to save all the registers in a stack so that you can, whenever you come back from the function to the main program, you will be able to recover the registers from the stack memory. So that's why it is very important, stack pointer definition. This LDR R16 0xFF will transfer FF to the R16, and then we are transferring it to port B. That means all the 8 LEDs of port B, if they are connected in a common cathode format, then all LED will turn on. If all are connected in common anode format, then all will turn off. Then we call the delay. Then we transfer 00 and we transfer 00 to R16. Again, if all LEDs are in a common cathode format, all the LEDs will turn off, and if all LEDs are connected in a common anode form, then all LEDs will turn on, and then some delay and jump again. So let us understand this delay routine. It's very important. In a delay routine, we are using 3 registers, R20, R21 and R22. So we are basically forming 3 loops. One is the inner loop, which is performed with help of register R22. Then after that there is a outer loop which we are performing with register R21, and then there is a third loop that is outside loop. It is formed with a R20, right? So in a R22 we have a FF. That means we have some counter, we have loaded some value, and then we are decrementing it. Initially we load the FF and then we decrement it, and we decrement it until it becomes 0. So this loop will be executed continuously 255 times, because its FF is a 255, and then after it will come out from the loop. So initially your counter is somewhere here 255, then you are reducing it. That means you are making it 254, 253, 252, 251 and so on. You reach up to the 80 and then 79 and so on, and like this, whenever you count up to 255 times, this entire loop will be completed once. Then this R21 will be reduced by 1 only. Okay. So whenever this entire loop is completed, this will be reduced by 1. So it is very much similar to your, in a clock, the second needle, minute needle and hour needle, right? Here whenever this loop is completed 256 times, only this will be decremented by 1. So whenever this will be complete, a loop will be completed 255 times, then only this will be completed once. So every time it will reduce by 1. So it will also reach from 255 to 0 here. And whenever this loop will be completed once, R20 will be reduced by 1. So initially R20 was 5, now it will become 4, then it will become 3, and so on. So ultimately, if I am writing 5 here, my entire loop will be in this way: 255 multiplied by 255 multiplied by 5. This many times this entire loop will be executed. So basically it will waste the time of microcontroller, and that's why you are getting that much delay. So delay is nothing but just you are trying to waste the time of microcontroller, because you want to keep your LED on during that period. Once this entire 3 loop is over, you are returning to the main program. So this RET is a return instruction, and this is a call instruction. So whenever you are executing R call delay, basically your program will transfer to delay routine, and once the delay routine is over and return is executed, you are coming back to your main program again, right? And during this event, actually you need to store some register in a stack memory, and that's why initialization of stack is very, very important here, right? Any doubt, any question in your mind? How to increase this delay? For example, if I want to increase this delay, what should I do? Anyone? Bhakti Joshi is there, Nikunj Ekaria is there, Jitendra Bhumtaria is there, Rahul Yadav, Harshit Gedia. Any one of you can answer me. What should I do if I want to increase the delay? You can unmute your mic and answer. In this program, I have done some changes, to increase the blinking delay. As all of you know, I have seen that. While execution of this program, I have done that. I was changing some numbers here.
એટલે ઈ તો સર તમે ન્યા તો હજી વેલ્યુ ફેરવી ને 0
બરાબર છે વેલ્યુ જ ફેરવી પડે, રાઈટ? વધારે ડિલે જોતો હોય તો વધારે વેલ્યુ મૂકવાની. અહીંયા આ 0.5 મૂક્યું છે, એનાથી ડિલે આપણને ઓછો મળે. હવે તમારે ધારો કે ડિલે વધારે જોઈએ છીએ, તો આ વેલ્યુની જગ્યાએ 0.5 ની જગ્યાએ તમે 0.10 મૂકી દો તો ડબલ વેલ્યુ ડિલે થઈ જશે. 0.20 મૂકી દો તો એનાથી વધારે ડબલ થઈ જશે, 4 ગણું થઈ જશે ડિલે, રાઈટ? So if you increase this value, the delay will be more, કારણ કે વધારે વેસ્ટ થશે, વધારે વખત કાઉન્ટિંગ માઇક્રોકન્ટ્રોલર કરવું પડશે. એટલે આમાં કેટલી વખત કાઉન્ટિંગ કરવું પડે? 5 મૂક્યું હોય તો 255 ગુણ્યા 255 ગુણ્યા 5 થી કાઉન્ટિંગ કરવું પડે. હવે અહીંયા હું 10 મૂકી દઉં તો વધારે કાઉન્ટિંગ કરવું પડે. વધારે કાઉન્ટિંગ કરવા માટેને વધારે સમય જોઈએ, એટલે વધારે ડિલે તમને મળી શકે, રાઈટ? સો યુ આર રાઈટ. જસ્ટ યુ હેવ ટુ ચેન્જ ધીસ નંબર હિયર. If you reduce this number, the delay will reduce. If you increase this number, delay will increase. Is it clear to all? બહુ નાનો ડિલે જોતો હોય, આટલો બધો મોટો ન જોતો હોય. આમાં આપણે એલઈડી નું બ્લિંકિંગ જોવું છે આંખોથી, એટલે આપણે સેકન્ડમાં ડિલે જોઈએ છીએ. પણ ઘણી વખત બહુ નાનો ડિલે જોતો હોય તો તમે એક લૂપ પણ વાપરી શકો, એક જ રજિસ્ટર વાપરી શકો. ધારો કે આ રજિસ્ટરથી જ તમે ડિલે મળી જાય, ખાલી આટલો અંદરનો જે રજિસ્ટર છે આનાથી તમને ડિલે મળી જાય. એનાથી થોડોક વધારે જોતો હોય તો 2 રજિસ્ટર વાપરો, એનાથી વધારે જોતો હોય તો 3 રજિસ્ટર વાપરો. એનાથી વધારે જોતો હોય તો 4 રજિસ્ટર વાપરો, રાઈટ. સો યોર ડિલે
આપણે બે રીતના એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ કરીએ કે એક ઉપરથી ઓલી 0105 ની વેલ્યુ થી કરીએ કે
હા હાજી,
અને બીજું નીચે લૂપ વધારતા જાય એ રીતના પણ આપણે
એ રીતે પણ કરી શકીએ. પરફેક્ટલી રાઈટ, પરફેક્ટલી રાઈટ, એકદમ સરસ, ગુડ. This is again the same program in C language, right. એટલે Arduino જે AVR સ્ટુડિયો છે એમાં તમે C પ્રોગ્રામ પણ લખી શકો અને એસેમ્બલી લેંગ્વેજમાં પણ લખી શકો. અને પછી બંને પ્રોગ્રામને જ્યારે તમે બિલ્ડ કરો છો, then basically you are generating a hex file, binary file, and that binary file you are uploading on the Arduino board, because you know microcontroller can understand only binary language, it cannot understand the C or assembly. So ultimately we have to use some AVR Studio kind of a platform in which we will be able to write the assembly language program. Whenever you build the solution, it will produce hex file for you, and whenever you click on the Arduino, that hex file will be uploaded onto the board, and then it will be executed there. So similar to assembly language, you can also write a C language program which is written here. You can see in a C language also you require a delay routine. So delay routine is written here. The same process we are doing. In that case we were saving the count value in register. Here we are saving the count value in a variable. So for I integer I equal to 0, I less than count, I plus plus. J equal to 0, J less than 100, J plus plus. એટલે શું કરશે, J શરૂઆતમાં 0, પછી J ની વેલ્યુ વધારશે 1 2 3 4 5 અપ ટુ 100 કાઉન્ટ કરશે. જ્યારે આ એક ઇન્ટરનલ લૂપ J નું પૂરું થઈ જશે એટલે આમાં J નું લૂપ છે એ આપણે 0 થી ચાલુ કરીએ છીએ. 0 1 2 3 4 5 એમ કરતા 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 અહીંયા 100 સુધી પહોંચીએ છીએ J ની વેલ્યુ. ત્યારે એ ઉપર I છે એ એક ઇન્ક્રીમેન્ટ થાય છે. So our I loop is somewhere here outside the J loop, right. So this is loop for I, this is loop for J. So Ji is initially 0, but whenever this entire loop is completed once, I will become 1. Again when this entire loop will be completed once, 100 count પૂરા થઈ જશે ત્યારે I2 થઈ જશે. એમ કરતા કરતા જ્યારે I છે કાઉન્ટની વેલ્યુ સુધી પહોંચી જશે ત્યાં સુધી આ ડિલે લૂપ ચાલ્યા કરશે. કાઉન્ટ શું છે તો કે જ્યારે પણ આપણે ડિલેને કોલ કરાવીએ છીએ ત્યારે એમાં અંદર બ્રેકેટની અંદર આપણે કાઉન્ટ સ્પેસિફાઈ કરી દઈએ છીએ. ધારો કે ડિલે અંડરસ્કોર મિલીસેકન્ડ ઇન્ટુ બ્રેકેટ 1000, તો 1000 ક્યાં વ્યા જશે, કાઉન્ટમાં વ્યા જશે. એટલે કે આઈની વેલ્યુ છે એ 1000 સુધી જાય ત્યાં સુધી એ લૂપ એક્ઝિક્યુટ થશે. આમાં તમારે ડિલે ચેન્જ કરવો હોય તો શું કરશો તમે, આમાં તમારે ડિલે ચેન્જ કરવો હોય તો જે રૂટીન જ્યારે પણ કોલ કરાવો, ધારો કે ડિલે અંડરસ્કોર MS કરો તો કાઉન્સમાં વેલ્યુ ચેન્જ કરી નાખવાની. 100 કરો તો 100, આના કરતાં 10માં ભાગનો ડિલે આવશે. ધારો કે તમે આવું કરો છો ડિલે અંડરસ્કોર મિલીસેકન્ડ, અને ધારો કે અહીંયા 1000ની જગ્યાએ 10000 કરો છો તો 10 ગણો ડિલે થઈ જશે. સો ધીસ ઇઝ યોર કાઉન્ટ વેલ્યુ વિચ યુ આર સ્પેસિફાઈંગ ઇન એ બ્રેકેટ. DDRB equal to 0xFF means port B we are declaring as an output port. While 1, that is an infinite loop. Port B equal to 00, so that port B all the pins will be cleared for some time. The time is equal to the delay time. Then port B equal to 0xFF, so all the port pins will become on at logic 1. Again some delay. It's not necessary that both the delays should be same. તમારે ઓન ટાઈમ વધારે રાખવો છે અને ઓફ ટાઈમ ઓછો રાખવો છે તો તમે આ ડિલેને ચેન્જ કરી શકો. That means if you want to change the duty cycle of your waves generated from the port pins, then you can change this on time delay and off time delay, right. So this is how you can write program either in C language or in assembly language and upload that program into the microcontroller board and then execute the program inside the microcontroller board, right. So
આમાં આપણે એક ક્વેશ્ચન છે.
હા
આ જેની વેલ્યુમાં આપણે 100 લખ્યું છે તેની જગ્યાએ 200 કે ઈ વેલ્યુ વધારી તો શું થાય? શ્યોર
તમે લખી શકો. ધારો કે તમે 100 ની જગ્યાએ તમે 200 કરી નાખો છો તો ડિલે ડબલ થઈ જશે. 400 કરી નાખો તો ડિલે 4 ગણો થઈ જશે. અગેઇન ડિલેને ચેન્જ કરવા માટે આ પણ છે, તો આ તમને એક ફિક્સ અમાઉન્ટ ઓફ ડિલે આપે છે અને કાઉન્ટના કારણે તમને વેરિયેબલ ડિલે મળે છે. રાઈટ, એટલે આને આ વેલ્યુ તમારા ડિલે પ્રમાણે તમારે સેકન્ડોમાં ડિલે જોતી હોય કે અવર્સમાં જોતી હોય, ડિપેન્ડિંગ ઓન ધેટ યુ હેવ ટુ સેટ ધીસ વેલ્યુ. એટલે તમારે ડિલે કેટલો જોઈએ છીએ એ પ્રમાણે તમારે આ વેલ્યુને સેટ કરી શકશો. પહેલામાં આપણે 3 રજિસ્ટર લીધા હતા, આમાં આપણે 2 વેરિયેબલ લઈએ છીએ. પહેલામાં લિમિટેશન શું હતી કે રજિસ્ટરની વેલ્યુ તમારી 0 થી હાઈએસ્ટ કેટલી હોય તો 255, એટલી એની લિમિટેશન હતી, કારણ કે રજિસ્ટરમાં 8 બીટનું રજિસ્ટર છે એટલે હાઈએસ્ટ વેલ્યુ 255 થાય. આ તમે અહીંયા ઇન્ટીજર તરીકે ડિક્લેર કરેલું છે, એટલે ઇન્ટીજર છે એટલે એની હાઈએસ્ટ વેલ્યુ કેટલી થશે? 65,535 સુધી તમે વેલ્યુ એને ડિક્લેર કરી શકો જો અનસાઇન ઇન્ટીજર હોય તો. અને ખાલી ઇન્ટીજર દેટ મીન્સ સાઇન ઇન્ટીજર, તો તમારે આનાથી અડધી વેલ્યુ તમે એની અંદર મેક્સિમમ અપલોડ કરી શકો. એનાથી વધારે કરશો તો ઓવરફ્લો થશે. રાઈટ, પછી ધારો કે તમારે વધારે વેલ્યુ કરવી છે તો આ વેરિયેબલને ઇન્ટીજર ન ડિક્લેર કરતા લોંગ ડિક્લેર કરો તો તમે ઘણી મોટી વેલ્યુ તમે એની અંદર આપી શકો. રાઈટ, કારણ કે ઇન્ટીજર તમે કરો છો ત્યારે 65,535 એટલે કે 16 બીટ થાય છે. તમે લોંગ કરશો તો 32 બીટની વેલ્યુઝ તેની અંદર લોડ કરી શકશો. પછી આમાં પણ એવું છે, તમે આમાં ધારો કે 2 ફોર લૂપ બનાવ્યા છે, અહીંયા આઈ જે, ત્રીજું પણ બનાવી શકો કે કરીને ત્રીજું ફોર લૂપ બનાવો. તો આ કેના ઉપર આધાર રાખે છે કે તમારે કેટલો ડિલે જોઈએ છીએ એના ઉપર આધાર રાખે છે. ક્લિયર?
યસ સર, ક્લિયર.
Further, any doubt? Any students? Any doubt? I will download your attendance. Once again, request to all to attend all the learning quizzes. I mean, I have seen few numbers here. Whatever those who are present here are actually appearing for the quiz, and those who are not appearing for the quiz, they are also not attending the lecture. So that's also true, right? Thank you all for joining this lecture. If you have further no questions, I will end this lecture here.